I haven't done an update on this, on our garden here, in a long time. And so now I'm going to. Go on, quit following me around. Go on. These dogs, they just got to be everywhere that I am. I'm going to break them of that habit. So anyway, this is the corn Marcel planted about 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago. And it's doing well. This stuff, go on, White. I think that's some kind of bok choy or something close like that. These tomatoes are doing really good. Checking these for a little fruit. Gina's down on the other end down there, had fruit on them already. These little guys here are not yet. So we've got these all staked up and with twine held in place. Peppers, they're doing really well. I forget which kind of peppers these are. I don't know if these are bell peppers or if they're a chili pepper. This is Marcel's Amplaya. A whole row of it here. These are the melons. These are a local variety. We expect them to do well. Get in here, up underneath. Definitely need some watering. I was saying earlier today in another video that, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to today. I'm going to look up the cost and availability of a pump that could water this with the wastewater from the tilapia breeding tanks. These here, well, those are cucumbers. I can tell by looking at those. They're full of blooms. Oh, and look at that. There's a little baby cucumber right there. Look at that little guy. So Marcel's cucumbers are already starting to produce. Which is the best way? I'm going to go around this way. Oh yeah. More tomatoes. This is a different variety here. And as you can see, some of them are doing well, some not so much. I think these were all planted at the same time. Those plants over there are twice as tall as most of these. Just a different variety, I'm thinking. I don't know what she has planted in here, but something I'm sure. This is the row of onions, which is doing very well. Now we planted all this area here in tomatoes, and it looks like Marcel just watered them. So all that area there is in tomatoes, and this area here is an eggplant, all the way back down to here, and we just put these in like a week ago, and they're doing really well. There's a lot of eggplant in here. So one of the frustrating things here is not being able to get pond 4 done so that we can start saving water and using the water for irrigation of those rice fields. Now they're not going to be rice fields, they're going to be utilized for some other kind of vegetable. Still kind of up in the air what kind of vegetables we're going to grow down there. But as you can see from 2 rows of cucumbers, the kind of income that can be generated. Imagine about 2,000 square meters. Imagine the kind of income that could be generated from that. So We've still got this area. This is about 6 feet wide, and it goes all the way back up there to that wood pile and beyond. That can still be planted in this little area here. I just started a tray of hot peppers, and I've got enough seeds for 2 more trays of hot peppers. That is a lot of peppers. And peppers, they like reasonably well-drained soil. They just don't like to sit in wet soil. And this area here, I know it's hard to tell because slopes and grades do not show up that well on video. But I'm going to get up early in the morning before it gets hot, because I just can't do it in the heat anymore. I'm going to bring down my Foreigner hoe, the long-handled hoe, and I'm going to start cleaning this area here in anticipation of putting all this area here in peppers. Now I've got, like I said, I got enough seeds for the hot chilies, they call them, and they're not the little short ones like that. They're, they're long. I've got enough for well, let's see, about over 500 seeds altogether, and that's enough. That's easily enough for 3 trays. So if we can get 400 to come up and 300 set out that will produce, that'll be pretty good. We had all this area here in production like 3 years ago. We had squash, melons, we had all kinds of stuff in here, peppers, and we're going to do it again. And so I've just got to get this area cleaned. This is going to be quite the little project here, because not only does this all have to be cleaned, and we could hire it done, and it would get done, but it in the absence of a rototiller, I'm going to do this with a hoe. The Filipino way is to use a bolo, chop the grass down, and then use the bolo to dig out the roots. It's like watching paint dry. It takes forever. Where I can come along with a hoe, and if I was a young fella, I could do all this area in one day, work through the heat, stay at it, and just get it done. I'm not a young fella anymore. This is probably going to take me, I don't know, definitely more than one day, many days, because I'm only going to be working in the morning. What's up, dude? Needs to shower? Somebody have a poopy diaper? Yeah. Ew. Ew. So anyway, I'm going to begin clearing this area, and maybe, I don't know how much time next week we're going to have the crew here, because next week is probably going to be the end of it for the crew, other than Tatai and maybe one helper. So we need to get the rice hulls, a good portion of the rice hulls, out of the piggery and up here. Can't put too many here because that's a pretty good slope. I mean, from where I'm standing to the fish pond, it's about 30 feet, but it's probably a 7 or 8 foot drop in elevation, so it's a pretty good slope. And I don't want to put the rice hulls too thick in here, even if they're mixed in. I don't want them too thick, because then they'll just a heavy rain and they'll all end up in the tilapia pond, and I don't want that. So about an inch of partially composted rice hulls is the goal for all this area here. I don't know how far I'm going to go back in this area here. This still has to be cleaned out from the typhoon. All this back in here, cleaned it. And by cleaned out, I mean the big stuff taken out, like what's left of the coconut trees and the stumps and all that. A lot of work in here. And I have to be selective on what I plant in here because there's a lot of shade. Might just get some more trees to put in this area here, from like here going back. I'll talk it over with Marcel and see what we're going to do here. And additionally, you know, it hasn't rained in like 4 days, so if it doesn't rain for another 4 or 5 days, we're going to light these wood piles on fire. And you know, the eggplant made it up to here, and this isn't the best soil in here. All this area where the bamboo and the wood piles are, we've had really marginal luck getting stuff to grow in here. Part of that was because it was so shaded in here, because of tupelo trees, coconut trees, Gymnelina trees. There were a lot of trees in here that provided a lot of shade. Well, the vast majority of those trees are gone now. So, you know, this is a, you know, probably 25 feet wide by 35 foot long section. It's a big enough area that it needs to be utilized. And so we need to work all this up as well. Hopefully by about the time that we get all this area here done and put in probably mostly peppers and squash, that pond 4 will be complete and full of nice nutritious fish water. And if it would ever dry out down there, it's even too wet right now to bring in the municipal tractor, and I talked to Marcel about this a couple days ago. If it was nice and dry down there, we'd bring in the municipal tractor and have them work that soil one time, and then once it really dries out, we'd come back, have them come back and do it again, but it's just too wet. At some point, we're going to utilize all that in those fields there, but it has to be worked in kind of right. All the rest of those rice hulls out of the piggery, we're going to put down there on those fields. Maybe some sand from the plateau, I don't know. Maybe. It could use about an inch of sand over all of it. An inch of sand, an inch of rice hulls, all mixed in well. And it would be not good soil, but orders of magnitude better than what it is. So those are the goings on and the plans. We're going to start making some money on this produce, on this farming from the ground side of things. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.